Hi friends! So I've officially moved in with the boyfriend. I just gotta unpack a lot of stuff, which I've already made good headway, and there's a lot of stuff that I now need to take care of as well. I need to change my address on everything that I have on my cards, my ID, my all of that stuff, and then I need to go to the post office on Monday and all that stuff and tell them, hey, I don't live there anymore. So I need to take care of all that stuff on top of giving my new place, the property manager, I need to give her my last 2 pay stubs and my a picture of my ID and all that. So but right now I am about to go to my local cafe because I haven't been there in a while, so I can get some extra writing time in. I haven't done that in a while. Yesterday I've been reading lately, just to kind of keep my mind from burning out and all that stuff, from getting too stressed. I've been kind of escaping. I've been reading Go Luck Yourself, which is a Royals and Romance. It's a holiday themed romance book, and it's very queer, and it is also the second book. So if you're familiar with Nightmare Before Christmas, that is the second book. Go Luck Yourself is the second book in that series, or duology, or whatever. I think it's gonna be a duology, but I do not know. I've been reading that lately so I don't get too stressed out or whatever about the move. Luckily, I have actually moved closer to my workplace, so if I am left without a car, I can walk to work. I'm even more so within walking distance, so like I just gotta walk up the road and like I'll be right there. I'm basically right around the corner from it, so I'm within walking distance. But since I work a closing shift most times, that means that, well, yeah, I'm not walking at 1 in the morning. I'm not walking at 12:30, 1 in the morning. So, I would rather be driving my car, especially because now I have a writing spot. So I gotta take my car over there until I gotta leave for work, and then drive off to work. So this is going to be a very fun journey. But I have also made very good progress with my Elementals series. Well, I wouldn't say series. I think it's going to be a standalone. It's just right now I have figured out that all of the chapters are in the perspective of each of the elements. So each of the elementals, each chapter is going to be in one of their POVs. I also have a mute character. I figured out that the Earth elemental is mute. His name is Yedal, and I can't remember his surname at the moment, but he is mute, so he speaks in sign language. I would just need to probably figure out, I don't know, I might need to do some more world building on that one, some more research with it, but he is mute, so he can communicate a little bit, but like, he's mute, so I can't really do much else. So I need to do some research on how to write deaf or mute characters, And I know I did some research on that, but it's in a notebook that's currently still packed away. So, and I for sure don't know which box it's in. So, that being said, I need to do some more research on how to write deaf or mute characters, specifically for him. And the Hushide and Ezelaz are getting along. They're not getting along in that way. They're not getting along like romantically. Hushide currently has the hots for Razami, the fire elemental. So, and by the way, my fire elemental, I keep thinking of Zuko, specifically Zuko in his Fire Lord outfit, in his coronation outfit for him to become Fire Lord. Specifically that one. That is how I think of Razami. Minus the scar, although I might have him get a backstory. I need to also develop their backstories a little bit, just to kind of flesh them out a little bit better. But we will figure that out most likely today. But yeah, Hushide and Ezelaz are currently getting along. They are being friendly. Razami had to send his advisor home because his advisor was being a dickhead. So that's going really well. Mostly, what was his name? I can't remember the advisor's name for Razami, but he got sent home because he was being mean to Yedal. Because he and Hushide, Yedal and Hushide were signing to each other, because Hushide is a scribe, or he's a high intellectual, and he loves learning new languages, and sign was one of the languages that he learned. So he knows how to communicate with Yedal in the way that Yedal will be more comfortable with him. So that is basically, I'm treating Yedal like a deaf character, even though he's not. So that's what I have going on for now, is I'm treating Yedal like a deaf character, even though he is not. So I will do more research possibly today. We will see. And I will see you guys in the next clip. So yesterday, was it yesterday? No, when I last saw you guys, I had just started like unpacking. It might have been yesterday. I'm not sure. When I last saw you guys, I had just started unpacking. I had made good headway, and I honestly can't remember what happened in the last clip, but I remember telling you guys about what I was gonna do. So it turns out I was doing research on Yedal and like how I could properly portray his condition. And so basically I was kind of correct in treating him the same way I would a deaf person. Because a lot of nonverbal or non-speaking persons, like, they use sign language as well. Not just like the text-to-speech devices. So I've been doing my research on a lot of that stuff as well, like the different ways they could speak, the reason why they have mutism, or the reason why they're nonverbal. So I would need to develop Yedal a little bit more. He might have a little bit more of a deeper background because of that, but I will see what I can do for the rest of the characters. But for now, today, I am going to continue in my research. I'm also going to be putting together a schedule because I have 3 days off this week instead of just the regular 2. So I will put together a schedule of what I need to do in my adulting life, like tomorrow and all that. I need to do stuff tomorrow and whatnot. And then, so over the next few weeks, it's going to be a struggle trying to balance unpacking, my writing life, and then everything else in between, because I also now have 4 cats instead of just the 1. So boyfriend's got 3, all girls, who have not been fixed yet, and my orange cat, Oliver, he has been fixed. And one of my boyfriend's cats, Nova, does not like him, apparently. Apparently anytime he's out of the room, anytime he's out of his bedroom, which is the guest bedroom for right now, she hisses at him and growls at him. And I have to basically swat her lightly on the butt saying, be nice. And she's never nice to him. He's being real nice, just exploring the house, just not, like, minding his own business. And, you know, all of a sudden you hear her hiss and growl at him. She doesn't do that with any of her sisters, like Luna or Polara. But apparently she doesn't like Oliver. So it's gonna be fun. That is going to be super fun for me to do, for me to figure out how I'm gonna get those 2 to like each other, or at least to get Nova to like Oliver, because oh boy, it is a struggle. So that is what I plan on doing today. Gonna go back to the local cafe. I did laundry yesterday, finally, so there's that. Did laundry yesterday, and then I finished Go Luck Yourself while I was at the laundromat. And oh my god, the effort it took not to cry in the middle of the freaking laundromat. And it's the same laundromat that I used to work at, but I was trying not to cry in the middle of the freaking laundromat right next to my old coworker. So, and on top of that, it was, oh boy, the spice in that book. I think I can't tell if it was a little higher on the spice scale than Nightmare Before Christmas, but oh my goodness, I had to find something else to do with my face to distract it from blushing immensely in the middle of the laundromat. And especially so because I was right next to my boyfriend too during a couple of those smutty scenes. So yeah, yesterday was fun while reading that. So I finished it, and then I started reading another recommendation by the same friend who read it in less than 24 hours. I told my friend, because they told me to read Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, oh, okay. I have another book by Sarah Rosh on my TBR. It was Snow Like Ashes, which I had read. It was okay. But I was also going through a lot of stuff during Snow Like Ashes. That was crazy. But I read A Nightmare Before Christmas, and then last month on, what was it, March 11th? Or like, yeah, it was like sometime in March. I think it was March 11th. But I was like, so on the 12th, I messaged my friend saying, hey, Sarah came out with a new book yesterday. It's called Go Luck Yourself. Not even 3 hours later, like an hour in, they text me, hey, I may or may not be 72 pages in. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then 2 hours later, hey, I'm done. They text me, hey, I'm done with my book. I'm done with the book. I'm like, I haven't even started reading it yet. So I finished it yesterday. And then a while ago, after Nightmare Before Christmas, after they had recommended me Nightmare Before Christmas, they told me to read a book called Under the Dragon Moon. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's about, but I am 15 pages in. I'm already on chapter 2. It's got a prologue, which was interesting of itself, so there was that. So I'm 15 pages in. There's apparently an eldritch being, a female eldritch being, possessing the bookstore in which this character works at with a heavily non-binary person. And when I say heavily non-binary, I mean no disrespect. I mean, like, so this character is referred to as the Kid because they keep changing their name so wildly and so much, so often, that the main character can't keep up. So they keep changing their name, they keep changing their pronouns, so often that the main character can't keep up. So they are referred to as the Kid. But yeah, so this eldritch being is called the Bellamore. I think that's how you pronounce it. But she is possessing the building in which the main character and the Kid work at. The bookstore. It's a bookstore. And the way that the Bellamore is described as possessing the building reminds me of Casita from Encanto. If you've ever watched that movie or if you've seen snippets, it reminds me of the way Casita moves. So, I already think this is gonna be really good because I've already met a succubus trying to seduce the main character. I've already met a heavily non-binary Kid, and I've met an eldritch being trying to stop a client from leaving the building for 2 whole hours. before the main character shows up in the bookstore again. So, I already know this is going to be a fun story, but I'm only like 15 pages in. It's on ebook, and I think it's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have KU, go ahead and download Under the Dragon Moon. Yeah, I'm already recommending it, so I think it's pretty good so far. So if you want to try it out for yourself, you are more than welcome to. I will be taking my time with this one, though. Probably, most likely not. Because I'm waiting on a library book that still hasn't come in for the past 2 weeks. And, like, I was never given a notification, so I don't know if someone has it checked out and I just simply placed a hold on it. Like, say, hey, the other library that I need this from, I'm waiting for it. So I never got an email from my library about that, and I've been waiting for about 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks now for it. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to be reading other books, just so I can, keep up my reading streak, essentially. So it's gonna be fun. Alrighty, with that, I will see you guys in the next clip. Turns out I was kind of right. I know I said this yesterday in the last clip. I was kind of right to basically make Yedal the earth elemental sign, basically like a deaf person. But I also found out that there are two different types of sign language. There's ASL, or whatever sign language your country uses, and then there's also what's called C. So we're gonna base this off of English. So there's ASL, which everyone knows about, but there's also an acronym that it's called C, and I can't remember. It's like signed exact English, so it's basically sign language in the exact same way that a normal speaking person would speak. So, because ASL has a different grammar structure and all of that, C it follows the exact same grammar structure and everything as regular English. So I might make him use C, or I don't know. But I have figured out what his backstory is, why he was rendered nonverbal, and all that stuff. I just need to get the finer details of each and every person's thing. So it's going to be fun. Right now I am doing some adulting stuff. I was going to unpack my boxes, but I need to get a few more things. I just need to get a couple of things from the store, so we will be going to the store, and then hopefully for a few hours, I'll be able to write. If not, I don't know what to do today, as far as like writing and reading and stuff goes. So, but there's that. I just need to get a couple things from the store today. I took a shower earlier as well, so my hair is a little bit damp. So, and today is my boyfriend's birthday. It is April 22nd right now, so it is his birthday. He is currently at work, so, and most of you, I think I told that he started working 2 jobs. He actually quit the second job like a few days ago because he could not take the lack of consistency, the intense drama, and getting switched from department to department with less pay than he was earning when he was initially hired on. So when he got switched to a more permanent department, he was in meat. So he was working at a grocery store as his second job. He got hired on as a meat clerk. They would have him do meat, seafood, dairy on occasion, and like a whole slew of other things. He would always leave at 8 o'clock at night during the weekends. And morning crew, whenever they would come in, they would yell at him saying, "Oh, you didn't stage this, you didn't face this, blah, 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 blah. This isn't supposed to be here." They were causing all kinds of stuff, submitting complaints about him. When he left 3 hours before the store actually closed. There's a saying that my dad says, and it says, "That would only make sense, and we don't do that here." And working in retail and food service, you experience a lot of people that do not have a lick of common sense. It was a fun time, and fun not in a good way.
Funny, but not funny, haha. Funny, I'm gonna have a breakdown.
Yeah, not the good kind of fun. Just all the drama. Someone basically tried to get him written up a second time, or like someone tried to get him a formal write-up because like she had thought that he had threatened to send her to the hospital when he was actually telling her to be careful. He said, "Whoa, don't slip and fall. I don't want to have to drive another person. I don't want to have to send another person to the hospital, or I don't want to have another worker go to the hospital," because another worker had gone to the hospital a few weeks prior due to heart problems. And so he was basically telling her to be careful because I don't want to see another person go to the hospital. She took that as a threat and went higher up instead of taking it with him. He never spoke to her again. So, the drama of retail is something I certainly do not miss. Especially between departments, like, yeah. So if you think Walmart is bad, Smith's or Kroger, well, I don't know about Kroger stores like with the name Kroger on them, but Smith's definitely was, yeah, it had its own fair share of problems. And he went from being a meat clerk up to front end, and he took a huge hit in pay. He went from $16.60 an hour to $14.25 an hour. And he was still getting switched to different departments. He was in deli, he was in meat and seafood, he would be like all over the place. He'd be in produce. Like, the amount of times they had him switch was horrendous. Like, And so he quit like a few days ago. I was like, good, because you sounded like you needed a break, because he was getting burnt out, frustrated, all that stuff. So tonight he and I are gonna go to a place called La Fiesta. It's a cute little Mexican place that's right across the street from where I used to live. So that's gonna be a nice little thing for his birthday. But I think that's all we're gonna do, because I gotta work tomorrow, and then I gotta keep finishing unpacking. I gotta put all the Christmas stuff away, because now I have an actual like separate like storage room on the balcony to put my Christmas stuff. So that's gonna be nice, having all the Christmas stuff put away, out of the way. And then I need to like fix quite a few more things, because oh boy, I think I underestimated how much of a mess the house had become. So that's gonna be fun. So I will see you guys whenever I can. I will probably post the whole video tomorrow on Wednesday as per my plan. But we shall see. So I will see you guys later.